Hey, good to see you. Hello everyone, welcome back to Tiki-Taka Sport. I'm Nat Neal, bringing you the latest breaking football transfer news from around the world. Stay tuned because we've got big deals, shocking updates, and all the hottest transfer stories coming right now. Manchester City are now preparing to step up their talks with Nottingham Forest over Elliot Anderson. The Premier League champions are pushing forward in negotiations after already reaching a personal agreement with the midfielder on contract terms. Discussions between the clubs are expected to continue as City look to finalize a potential deal. Real Madrid have reportedly made an inquiry for Borussia Dortmund midfielder Felix Nmecha following a request from Jose Mourinho. The German international is now emerging as a potential target for Los Blancos, with strong competition from Manchester United and Manchester City, who are also monitoring his situation. However, Borussia Dortmund have no intention of selling this summer unless an exceptional offer arrives. His €70 million release clause is set to become active in 2027. Tottenham have made Sandro Tonali one of their priority targets this summer. The club have already held positive talks with the Italian midfielder's representatives, showing strong interest in a potential move. However, no official approach has been made to Newcastle United so far, and any deal would be extremely difficult due to the high valuation involved. Leeds United have identified Sporting CP defender Ousmane Diomande as one of their top targets this summer. Manager Daniel Farke is believed to see the centre-back as a key signing as Leeds aim to strengthen their squad ahead of the new season. However, Sporting's £69 million release clause is a major obstacle in any potential deal. Bournemouth are also monitoring the situation. Deal done at Birmingham City. The club have officially signed midfielder John Solis from Girona. The Colombian joins on a 4-year contract for an undisclosed fee as Birmingham continues strengthening their squad. Deal done at Real Madrid. Antonio Rudiger has officially signed a new contract, keeping him at the club until June 2027. The German defender continues his stay in Madrid as part of the club's long-term plans in defense. Deal done in France. Lyon have officially signed winger Kale Boudake from OGC Nice. The youngster has put pen to paper on a long-term contract running until 2031 as Lyon continue building for the future. Deal done at Watford. The club have officially appointed Alessio Dionisi as their new head coach. The Italian manager has signed a 2-year contract and will now take charge as Watford prepare for the new campaign. Manchester United are considering Fulham midfielder Sander Berge as another option for their midfield rebuild. The Norwegian international, who is currently representing his country at the World Cup, has been on United's radar before, dating back to his move to Fulham in 2024. However, Rashford's preference remains clear. If he returns to Manchester United, he would rather stay and see out his contract until 2028 than join another Premier League club. Manchester United are considering a move for West Ham winger Cryfencio Sumerville as they continue searching for reinforcements on the left wing. The 24-year-old Dutch international is among the top names on United's shortlist, and initial inquiries have already been made. Any deal for Summerville is expected to cost around £50 million, with the Red Devils now weighing up their options ahead of a potential move. Marcus Rashford's release clause has now been set at £40 million for all clubs except Manchester City and Liverpool. Barcelona's €30 million option to sign the forward has officially expired, closing that potential move. However, Rashford's preference remains clear. If he returns to Manchester United, he would rather stay and see out his contract until 2028 than join another Premier League club. Federico Chiesa is determined to stay at Liverpool and fight for his place under new manager Andoni Iraola. Despite interest from Juventus and Como, the Italian winger has no intention of returning to Syria this summer. Chiesa views Iraola's arrival as a fresh opportunity and believes the manager's playing style is a perfect fit for his strengths. Nottingham Forest are stepping up their pursuit of Inter Milan midfielder Davide Frattesi. The Premier League side have already held talks with the players' representatives and are now preparing an official opening bid. Forest are expected to offer €25 million plus bonuses, while Inter Milan are holding out for around €30 million. The Italian club are open to selling the 26-year-old this summer. AC Milan have been offered the opportunity to sign Manchester United midfielder Manuel Ugarte this summer. The Uruguay international has been proposed to the Syria Giants, where Ruben Amorim is now in charge after previously working with Ugarte. At this stage, no official talks are taking place between the clubs, with the approach limited to an initial proposal. Darwin Núñez could be heading back to Liverpool in a surprise summer return. Reports from Uruguay claim the striker is set to rejoin the Reds after an unsuccessful spell with Al Hilal. Any official announcement is expected to come after the World Cup. Núñez left Liverpool last summer but struggled to establish himself and was left out of Al Hilal's squad for the second half of the season. Chelsea are considering a move to bring Lewis Hall back to Stamford Bridge this summer. The Blues are exploring whether a deal can be completed as they search for a potential replacement for Marc Cucurella. However, Chelsea could face competition from Manchester United, who are also monitoring Hall's situation and remain interested in the Newcastle United fullback. Borussia Dortmund striker Serhou Guirassy and Real Sociedad goalkeeper Alex Ramiro. Villa have been encouraged in the Guirassy chase after his camp denied reports of an agreement with Fenerbahce, leaving the striker's future open. The club are also preparing for life after Emiliano Martinez, who is moving closer to Juventus, with Ramiro now emerging as a leading goalkeeper target. Liverpool have identified RB Leipzig winger Yan Diomande as their top transfer target this summer. The Reds are currently leading the race for the highly rated attacker, but competition remains fierce from some of Europe's biggest clubs. RB Leipzig are reportedly demanding between €130 million and €150 million for Diomande, while Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid continue to monitor the situation closely. Manchester United are considering a move for Fulham left-back Anthony Robinson as they look to strengthen their defense this summer. The U.S. international is viewed as a more affordable option than Newcastle's Lewis Hall. Robinson could be available for around £28 million, while Hall is valued at approximately £50 million.
A massive transfer just happened, and that's only the beginning. Welcome to Tiki Taka Sport, your number one source for breaking transfer news, football rumors, and the biggest stories from around the world. Every deal, every twist, every football headline. Subscribe now and stay one step ahead of every fan. Tiki Taka Sport, where football never stops.